For years I've watched, creators like Black Magic Craft and even Jazza and Tabletop Time, and they'll make these epic sort of landscapes and terrains for their games and whatever. And I've watched them, and I've made a few bits and pieces. The very first video I've watched by Black Magic Craft, making this little fountain that's turned into a bird nest on the legs of one of my figures. And then finally, after many years, to actually play D&D, and I started playing, and I realised that no one in my group actually put anything down, and there was nothing. And so I started making figures. I created all of the characters and kind of seen some of them. But then I also realised that a couple of them rely entirely on theatre of the mind. Let's make it up. We just sort of imagine, and that's all well and good, except for it's not. It's crap. When I started, the DM would get a bit of paper out and then start scribbling out something and go, oh, like there's a room and there's a door there and there's a thing here and there's this, and then you'd play and one of the players would go, I go to the torches on the wall and take a torch. No, there is no torch, but there is in my mind. And it's like, and then we played another game where there was a farmyard, and I drew the map of the farmyard and the farm and house, and the DM for that game went, I just rely on theatre of the mind. Don't worry about things like that. He really does not like maps and models. He collects the Warhammer figures, but doesn't paint them. Ooh, just... Sorry. So I always want to make terrain, and I want to make stuff. And when I started, that's what I did. I went, you want some terrain? I can make you some terrain. And you went, oh, that'd be amazing. So I made him a bag full of random bits of foam. But because we're playing in 10 towns up in the Icewind Dale, I still don't know the name of it. I made some terrain, some walls and things. And because we're playing Icewind Dale, I made things that look like ice. So rocky terrain and covered in snow. The problem is that the DM basically just sticks his hand into a bag and pulls out the first thing that he can get his hand on. He'll go, oh, there's this, and then there's this, and then there's that, and then there's this, and you kind of get a idea, and it's a room. No, Rob, that's not a room. That's not how you build terrain. That's not a thing. And then the other players go, oh, just go with theatre of the mind. We'll just imagine it. No, it's wrong. If you're going to do it properly. I did this when I did my dungeon crawl. This was the grand chamber. And they were all like, whoa, you've done so much work. And it was like, I painted a piece of polystyrene black. Not even very well. It didn't take a lot. But most of the time, it's not happening. Most of the time, players are just going, there you go, it's a room. It's annoying. It's not right. It needs to be done properly. If you're going to do it properly. So I built all this terrain for the DM back in October, November last year. It looks a mess. And every time he plays, he pulls out these random things and nothing matches, and it's all like higgledy-piggledy. I'm like, no, do it properly or don't do it at all. So this video is how to make terrain sort of make sense and actually is somewhat tidy. Okay, so change of position, glasses. This is the cheap XPS foam that tears. We've got the good stuff. For reference, Praetorian Guard, probably have seen. For reference, he is 3 squares tall. Any wall should be taller than that. So first off, I've got a few of these random bits. Let's do some randoms. This thing, corner of a room, corner wall, we can expand on it. Just do something like that and glue that to that and that to that. So it's been used before. They're robbed out walls. If I glue a few pieces together, this is the quick and easy way of making a wall. I do these videos and there's like 3 of you watching them regularly, and then a couple of other people. Hello. And one of you is obviously campaign terrain, and he's like preaching to the professor. He's far more experienced and much more knowledgeable. So I do feel the pressure at times to actually do something that makes some sort of sense. But because I'm watching making these things, and it's like, yeah. Of course, if you don't like my videos, you don't have to watch. I got a comment on my Grieve Dragon the other day. Clearly somebody didn't like my video. But rather than just sort of go, that's not for me, they made some snide comment. hot. For some reason I seem to think the dungeons are rather badly made. That's the other problem I always find. What I tend to want to do, put a bit of a return. We have a wall. We need like 50 more of them now. While I'm doing small bits, and I've got these couple of bits, I'll take this, and this is the wide 50mm foam I cut out for the demonstration. It's going to go to waste. I don't like wasting this because it's a pain to get hold of. So all we've got to do now is stick one on top of another, and then that can fall over its heart content. So what do we do when things fall over like that? And we resort to pins. Round-headed pins, not good. There's a wall. Oh look, it stands up like that. Then we take this, try and separate it. Proves hot glue works. If we square that off, making walls out of all the waste foam that gets left over. Do that. I think we need another pin. Ah, that is hot. I'm burning my fingers. And we have that. Okay, next stage. We've got this stuff, which is the cheapy polystyrene, the XPS one. I'm sure you've seen someone cut a bit of foam before. If you haven't, welcome to the channel of cutting random bits of foam and sticking them together, save wasting them. Right, if that goes like that and that goes like that and then that goes like that, and they stick together, they kind of fit together. Well, that one doesn't quite fit, but that's okay. Let's glue these together and go dollop of glue on there like that to the corners, slop, and pin that on there, go like that. We have another wall. The thing is that too wide? I mean, it's not bad for a step. And then you got a wall. The question I'm thinking is, do I cut them in half? Yeah. Okay. If I cut that in half, I think that should be just about wide enough. Right, we now have walls. I guess if it's too narrow, we can always do that and back together. Cut that there. We have, now that's a sensible wall. Look at that. A pencil. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at that. That's what I need. A pencil. Exactly the same colour as the thing with my name on it. One robbed out wall. Let's repeat it with this one. I'm trying to cut this in half and I'm just going, you can instantly feel the difference. And this is the good stuff, and this is the crappy porous stuff. Any more bits, random bits left over? Another bit. That bracing bar. I can't remember what they are. We have them on terrace houses here. The end of terraces have a tendency to have a bar going through them to hold them, stop them terraces falling over. I don't know if they had them in America. They do. Cross, what are they called? We'll take that end off. There we go. Another wall, bodged one. These are obviously made by the apprentice masons building dungeon walls. Okay, so we have our walls, you can see, stacked up there, ready to be painted. These are bits of foam that, polystyrene foam, figures have come in. And I've saved them simply because it could be useful. And it could be useful as a room. If I put him there, like that, and go there, I could do this with a hot knife and just poke it straight through. The fumes are not funny, so we won't do that. A secret room. Cover that in Mod Podge, paint it, cover in Mod Podge, and probably won't have to do anything else with it, it'll just be there. Likewise, similar sort of thing. Now I could do the same there and just cut a hole in the side. Does that seem like a waste? Hold on. Okay. First off, we're going to cut the base off this, because that's not needed on there. Right, come up and find a wall. Now, do I cut down there and make this into 2 walls? Cut it in half. It's quite good to do a chamber, but then I've just done a chamber. I'm going to cut this in half here. Now we have 2 chambers, too big. Let's cut it down. Now see, this has been cut in imperial 3-inch pieces. Ow, 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 ow. Lessons in how to burn yourself. I'm really good at that. Burning, cutting, setting fire to myself, poisoning myself. Stick around. Don't poison myself yet. Well, I might have done. This might be a slow death. Hold on, pause. The hot glue is melting holes in the foam, so it's giving us random shapes. Let's try and see about some wooden walls. So we have lots of this, but just for the principle of starting, these are really good, and these are really good. We have 4 of them. We have a number of these shorter ones, and then blocks. Oh, we have to sand down the green ones, whatever happens, because. Okay, so here we are. We have a bit of sandpaper. I've done a bit of testing. I've sanded down a few pieces. And it does not change colour. So, done the nose. Sand. Question is, hot glue hold it, or does it need to be wood glue? I'm trying to do both. The squirty thing as wood glue doesn't work, so I'll stick my finger in to get glue it out.
Now to mine, now to mine, sign them all.
I've also just stuck those together. Well, as per usual, it is a complete mess, but we have that ready to be covered in Mod Podge. But now somebody needs to go somewhere. So that's where we go. These pieces need to be redone because the wooden blocks have done that. Stuck together. So we just need a second coat. We're not going to run out of terrain wall pieces. I've just gone through the drawers and found all the odd bits of foam that are meant to be terrain, including pillars and when I did my Guardian of Forever, great, it's just massive things, so it got broken down. Okay, we are here. It is another day and we have some greyish paint and a stubby dry brush. And the problem is that half my D&D party are very uninspired. I have a query, I have a puzzle that I'm questioning whether they're Tauruses. I think certain star signs don't do well with D&D because they don't have the imagination. And Tauruses are notoriously bad at imagining things or seeing things. So you get the same character people tend to be the people that play the same character every time. Very definitely. Whereas this week I've come up with a character for a game I'm not even in. I created a baddie for somebody else's game because I just saw the premise and was like, ooh, that's an idea. Oh, what's the matter? Why are you panicking? The problem with having a chimera, the noises that come out of them are very odd at times. You don't know what personality you're going to get as well. Well, there we go. Now that looked a lot better than the random junk I created for my DM a few months back. The stuff I built for him was just more like that, but in random colours and bits. That was the biggest mission, trying to arrange it so this is all fits into here, so that it can be transported to and from the Wednesday night game. Yeah, these things work really well. I like these. They're quite clever. And a lot of them I've done a little lip so that they still stand up. And we've got everything here, really. We've got walls, fire pit, pillars. We need more of them. They're well and truly stuck together. Don't know what that's going to be. Oh, it fits in there. Oh, it is a thing. So we've got a real range from 3D printed ladders, and they never had a use. Now they have a use. They can be ladders. I need to find the barrels and the doors. They've got to be added. Maybe I should make something here. Something mysterious, magical. That is a box full of terrain. It's a damn sight better than the mess of stuff that I built for our Wednesday night game. So there we go. There is a lot of terrain built a damn sight better than it was before. Hope this was somewhat entertaining. How do you do terrain? What do you do? Tell me in the comments. What other tricks you have to share them. Anyway, yes, I'm rambling. I hope you like this video. I shall see you anon. Do you like the hat? Cool, isn't it? Like a tangerine. Today's walk was eventful. So they found 2 balls, one from a group playing rounders, baseball, UK version of baseball, and then got the ball back from her, and then a second ball that was just lying around, to be fair, and it was a kid's ball, and the kid screamed its lungs out, saying that Soda was going to rip her throat out and things. I just did that wrong. I cut the wrong bit off. Yay. That's a rocky outcrop, and that's a spire on its side. That's not a room. You know, it goes, oh, it's sort of like this. And it's like, there is a chimera. Hello? Now it's just looking really like I'm an idiot. stimulating videos, isn't it? I make me trying to fit foam in a box. There, finished.